Good morning. So this reading is for Friday the 13th. So what I'm going to do is just get a little bit about our past here. One more. Current energy. And future energy. So looking here, bottom of the deck, I am getting the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands indicates a closed cycle. And so you've been doing a lot of work. You've been putting in all of the effort necessary in order to close out a cycle here with that 10 of Wands. We're going to talk about that because the devil's showing up here again on Friday the 13th. Really? Okay. So when I look at the past here, I'm getting the Two of Pentacles, which is about priorities, figuring out what's going to be in your best interest and then putting your effort towards that. It's really connected to the star. And so the star, Aquarius energy, it's all about your goals, your dreams, your wishes, making it all a reality here. And so the Two of Pentacles feels a lot like making room for this, making space for these dreams in your life. I'm getting the moon showing up here as well. So it feels like a lot of maybe emotional space. That feels really significant. There's something connected to your emotional space, making room for this. Because I'm getting a lot of doing it behind closed doors, but it feels like it's very internal to you. And then here in the current energy, so I have the Celestial Weaver, which is specific to this deck. I love this one because it talks about the interconnectedness of all of us. It's about manifesting all of your dreams, but it's the collective. It's really highlighting the collective here, kind of weaving everything together. Page of Wands is showing up here. So Page of Wands is about taking some sort of action to go down the path of what you want. This is where, so I'm connecting the moon with the Celestial Weaver. There's something internal that you're connecting with your dreams, but your dreams are bigger than just you. Your dreams actually involve other people. And so the more that you align and connect with your dreams, there's a very strong connection between these cards. The more that you connect, the more that you find yourself connecting with other people. These would be people on your spiritual path, part of that spiritual tribe. Page of Wands feels a lot like a doorway is opening up for you. The way that this is coming across, it almost looks like a doorway is opening up, where once you start really aligning with your goals and dreams and just making that emotional space, something opens up. A doorway, not a physical doorway, but an emotional one. And then in the last position here, I'm getting the Two of Swords with the Seven of Swords. The Two of Swords is being at a crossroads, not really sure what to do. Seven of Swords, because you're not seeing something clearly. The Seven of Swords can be lies, manipulation, and deceit. And I'm getting the sense here that you're just not trusting all of the information in front of you. And so even as this doorway is opening up, and this is an emotional doorway, this feels a lot like something is opening within you. There's something here in your mind that you're not trusting. It feels like it's an old belief. It's some sort of not expectation. It's something around the way that you've always perceived a situation to be, the way that you've always understood that things were. And there's something about that feels like it's cracking open. There's this, your mind had one belief and your heart is showing you something different, where maybe your mind got it wrong. Maybe you were piecing things together in a way that made sense at the time, but it doesn't really align with where you're moving in the future. And so I'm getting the sense here that it's almost creating this standstill for you with that Two of Swords. You need to see something here more clearly. You need to reconcile what your mind and your heart are telling you. And in the future energy here, I have the Judgment card, which is really that rising up energy, taking control, making very clear choices here. And so there is going to be an opportunity. There's something here that's going to bridge the gap between not really trusting what you know, what you always believed to be true, versus what your emotions are telling you. I'm just getting the sense that you are going to reconcile that with a Judgment card, but it's the devil here that really we'll need to dig into this more. It's the devil, the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles just indicates that you have the stability, that you're able to meet your own needs. You have a very solid foundation. It's the devil that I'm really kind of hung up on. The devil is connected to the Seven of Swords, Two of Swords. Something is reappearing in your life so that you can finally put an end to it. It's connected to this Ten of Wands showing up here. Absolutely. There's something that you didn't even recognize this was a thing. You didn't even know it existed until all of a sudden it's front and center. And the universe is saying, okay, make a clear decision to put that behind you. Stand tall, stand in your own ground. There's something where you've been rebuilding your emotional foundation. And that's exactly what it feels like, your emotional foundation. Even though it's a Pentacles energy and that's very tangible, this is an emotional foundation. Let's get more information here. So tell me about the Two of Pentacles in the past. The Star. The Moon. Okay. So clarifying the Two of Pentacles in the past, Knight of Wands. You started taking actions to make space for your goals and dreams in your life. And so I am getting emotional space. There could also be some sort of physical space as well. These are both very physical cards. And so take it as it resonates for you. I'm picking up the stronger emotional space. With the Star here, I'm getting the Hierophant. So we have the Aquarius energy, the Taurus energy. The Taurus energy here, I'm getting a lot of spiritual alignment from this. It is one of the marriage cards in tarot, but it really is aligning with your path and purpose, aligning with your goals and dreams here. So all the action that you were taking, all of your priorities were focused on, okay, well, I want to live my life. I want to live the life I want to live. And so really setting yourself up for that kind of future. With the Moon here, so again, your emotional space, I'm getting the Five of Cups with the Eight of Swords. And so here is the disconnect that is absolutely showing up in the current energy. So the Five of Cups is you've been focused on the negative. It's time to switch and focus on the positive. Focus on the cups that are standing, not the ones that are spilled over. Eight of Swords indicates that you've been very much up in your head around this. So there's a lot of negativity coming out of this, and it's been infecting your emotions. This is an infection. It feels like a disease. It's something that started in your mind, and your emotions are now trying to reconcile all of this. But what you're getting here and what you're aligning with now is getting out of that negative, restrictive energy and opening up into something more positive and hopeful, and just aligning with what you want and going after what you want here. And so there is this shift of working to get out of your head, working to overcome any kind of negative thoughts or barriers, because that Eight of Swords is that self-imposed prison of the mind. So I'm just getting that your mind was telling you something, and maybe your heart was going along with it, or the voice there wasn't as loud. Now it's becoming very loud, and it's showing you that what you believed isn't necessarily the case. Let's get the Celestial Weaver. Page of Wands. Two of Swords and the Seven of Swords here. Interesting. With the Celestial Weaver, I'm getting the Two of Swords. So once you started kind of putting all the pieces together and figuring out how everything kind of connects, it created this almost paralyzing energy with the Two of Swords, where it made it really hard to make a decision. And that's kind of where you are right now. You're almost taking a step back from everything to say, okay, well, what I always believed to be true, in fact, isn't, or it just needs to be modified. So the amount of truth connected to it, it's going to be probably situation specific. In some cases, there will be some truth. In some cases, there might be a lot of truth. And so really take it as it resonates for you. But I'm getting this sense of withholding a decision until you get the clarity that you need. And what you're doing here with the Celestial Weaver is you're tying all of the pieces together. You're looking at everything holistically, not just from a mental state, not just from an emotional state. It really is trying to gain the entire alignment here. With the Page of Wands, I'm getting the Page of Cups. So here, you're gearing up to take some sort of action. I'm not getting a lot of forward movement. I'm getting actually more of the reverse, a lot of standing still. And so that Page of Wands energy indicates that you're considering everything before you take any kind of action. Page of Cups, really considering it from an emotional standpoint, because it feels like when you start putting the pieces together, when things start to click into place, they feel like they're clicking into place. It's something where it feels right. And once it feels right emotionally, your mind is going to have to reconcile that. Your mind is going to have to understand and kind of work through why you believed something to be different or something along those lines, because your heart's going to dominate this conversation and it's really going to win out in the battle between your head and your heart, because emotionally you know this to be true. And so once you have that truth kind of front and center, the mind needs to be reconciled. Something needs to be modified in your perception or expectations in order to kind of find the alignment that you're looking for in order to be able to move forward. Here again with the Two of Swords, Seven of Swords, because you're just not trusting the information that you have or the way that you've pieced it together, or maybe the way somebody else pieced it together for you. This could absolutely be somebody else's narrative that you are now blowing up because emotionally you know that's not true. You know that it doesn't make sense from your standpoint, because I am getting the Three of Cups here. And so the Three of Cups does indicate emotionally, your happiness and your forward momentum is going to come from your heart. It's going to be centered around, okay, does this make me happy? Is that going to make me happy? And really moving in that direction, not settling for less. I'm getting a lot of heart dominance here. Tell me about the Judgment. Devil energy. So clarifying this future energy here, so that Judgment where you are going to be able to make a decision, it's going to take some time. Your heart is going to win the conversation, but in order for you to really have that clear, final, it's a mental decision. It's going to take a little bit of time here, so give yourself some grace. Be patient here with that Three of Wands. I'm also getting, there might be more that unfolds here, because I'm getting a lot of an unraveling and then putting back together. But it's the unraveling. Is there more that needs to kind of be unraveled? And as you're putting things back together, are you getting new information? Are there new kind of data points to consider that's going to help inform that decision here? I'm just getting a lot of like deconstructing to reconstruct. That's how this energy is coming across. You're almost kind of going through, it's a part of the growth phase, but it's like early stage growth where the more that you heal and you start to understand all of the complexities and just everything that's unfolding and all of the information and where maybe you misunderstood or were out of alignment in some way, it's kind of that deconstruct and reconstruct. And so with the Devil here, I'm getting the Magician replaces the Devil. So when it comes to old ways of thinking, old ways of perceiving a situation, everything is shifting. Your mind is going to catch up. Your mind is going to be able to understand that what it concluded was not correct. And so now it's coming up with a new conclusion. And the Magician energy is about you manifesting your dreams here. I love the way that that is coming through. It's a lot of just overtaking the old way, replacing it with something new, letting you know that really that magic of going after your dreams, it's all within you. It's at your fingertips. It's just a matter of doing it. So if part of the old structure here said that you weren't capable of doing something, whether it was something you told yourself or something somebody else told you, that is not the case at all. Not true. And you're starting to really understand it, but it's that whole body digestion of the information that gives you the strength and gives you the ability to really manifest what you want here. And with the Four of Pentacles, I'm getting at the Eight of Cups. And so the Eight of Cups is about moving on from something. And so here, once you rebuild your foundation, you're moving on. You're moving on to the next phase, the next chapter, because it's not about sitting still. It really is about completing this cycle of shifting the narrative that really does feel like it's in your best interest, that it makes the most sense to you emotionally and then mentally. And it's that stepping path. It's emotions and then mental. So this is the reading for Friday. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.